All right, well, I want to talk about the whole Eddie Hearn and Deontay Wilder situation and the $50 million offer from Team Wilder to Team Joshua and Eddie Hearn. Because there's a lot of contradictory statements being made. And I'm not saying, both sides haven't made mistakes. And I'm not saying I agree with both sides 100%. But let's talk about the $50 million offer. And forgive me if I repeat myself because I made videos. I've been on other people's videos. I've been in a hangout with 78 Sports TV yesterday, and I made some points, and they made some great points as well. So the offer basically was, do you agree to the financial terms? Is the purse of $50 million, like you said, Anthony Joshua said, is the $50 million enough? And as you said, if you were presented with $50 million, you would agree to 50-50 split of the revenue for the fight between the two fighters. So they just want to verify if what you said you're going to stand by, just the financial part of the agreement. They don't want to go into a meeting and then have you say, well, we said 50 million pounds instead of $50 million, so that means we want $70 million up front instead of $50 million. They're basically looking for confirmation that the financial part of the agreement can be worked out. It's like when you apply for a job and you submit your resume to a company and they contact you, and then you say to them, yeah, I'm interested in the job, but this is what I'm making now, and this is what I'm going to be looking for if I accept this job. And basically, if they say, well, we can't meet your salary requirements, are you still going to go on that interview? No. So why go through with a meeting if you can't even iron out the financial terms of the agreement? There has to be some type of starting point before you even sit down. And other people are saying, well, if he agrees to that, then it's a legally binding contract. How could it be a legally binding contract when the specifics of the deal have not been discussed or revealed? You think any judge in court is going to um, enforce a verbal contract that has no specifics involved in it at all? How can that be enforced? All they are asking for is for you to stand by, or for Anthony Joshua to stand by his statement of, I will accept 50-50 split if I am guaranteed $50 million up front. And that's all it is. And then people are saying, well, how do they know if it's not going to be given to them in installments? That's a ridiculous claim. When has a purse ever been given in installments? A guaranteed purse is just that. It's a guaranteed purse up front. You're guaranteed $50 million up front before anything else is divvied up. That is your guaranteed portion. That is your purse. That's your salary for the event. No matter what happens, if the event tanks, you still get your 50 million. Yeah, I understand the pressure tactics, not liking being given 24 hours notice. I understand all that. But when Eddie Hearn made his offer to Deontay Wilder, did they draft up a contract? Okay, did they send a contract over? Did they provide proof of funds for their 12.5 million? No, they did not. When they sat down with other fighters, particularly Vladimir Klitschko, did they send over a contract before making an offer? No, the offer is made first and then the financial terms are agreed upon. Why would they even sit down if $50 million is not going to be enough money? It's just like, why would I even go on a job interview if I knew that job could not meet my financial requirements, my financial salary requirements? It's the same thing. It's very basic. So by agreeing to financial terms, you are not agreeing to the fight. You're not agreeing to a contract. How can you agree to a contract that has not been drawn up yet? And you can't make a contract without two sides sitting down and putting up their requirements. A contract cannot be made one-sided. It takes two parties to make a contract. That's why a contract has 2 or more signatures on it, because it's not just an agreement from one side. It's got to be an agreement from both sides. So this is just basic common sense, and I don't understand why Eddie Hearn is acting so confused. He's a smart man. He knows how business is done. And like I said, verbal contracts are binding, but there is no contract. This is a verbal agreement to the purse. Okay, it's not a verbal contract. You're agreeing to one portion of a deal, with the remaining portion of the deal to be ironed out at a sit-down meeting. So that's just that. Remember what I said. Use that example and use the logic of, why would you go on a job interview for a job that could not afford to pay you what you feel you're worth and what you're already making now? And if it's going to be a more difficult job, you're going to be looking for a higher salary. Just think of it that way. It's common sense. So I understand Eddie Hearn's viewpoint of, yeah, they're using pressure tactics. That's great. So sit down and, say, yeah, the $50 million, and talk to Anthony Joshua. Ask Anthony Joshua, were you 100% sure and correct? Were you serious when you said, yeah, I'll take $50 million up front and I will go 50-50 with them? If that's what Anthony Joshua said, and if Anthony Joshua is cool with that, then you should be cool with that. Okay? That's what needs to be established here. Was that a legitimate claim from Anthony Joshua? And that's what they want to know before sitting down. Simple and plain. Can you answer those questions, Eddie Hearn? Can Anthony Joshua answer those questions? We haven't heard from Anthony Joshua. Maybe he needs to speak up, and maybe he needs to be part of the process. Maybe he needs to voice and clarify his statements. And that would be very helpful in this whole situation. So we're going to probably talk about this. We're definitely going to talk about this on the Ringside Reporter podcast today at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Until next time, guys, have a great day. Talk to y'all soon. And Eddie, you're smarter than this, bro. Come on, please.